Well, good morning. It is Thursday. Kind of a crappy day today. I have the rest of the week off. Wanted to hop on here and just kind of have a chit chat, see what your guys' business looks like. Do you guys slow down around this time of the year? If so, what do you do to still try to find a way to bring income in, other outlets of income? I try to plan 2 to 3 jobs a week this time of the year, just kind of space things out, keep the guys busy, doing something every week. Just been struggling trying to land jobs. Been going out doing estimates, but there's always that one person that's just cheaper. Been dealing with that a lot around here lately. It's a little tough just because there's so many tree services in our area. There's a lot of people that do it on the side that aren't insured. They don't even have the proper equipment. You know, a job that would take me a couple hours, they'll spend 2 days on and be cheaper than me as well. And I just don't understand it. I think that people need to stop shopping around, find a company that has good work ethic, does a good job, knows what they're doing, regardless of price. Because that's what it comes down to. Because the cheapest, we all know, isn't the best. They're just trying to get in there, get it done, get out. I've been doing tree work for 12 years now. Maybe a little bit longer than that. I think since I was about 21. About to be 34, so been running my business going on 4 years. And every year, this time of the year, it slows down. I just don't get it. I think people have the misconception that we take the winter off, that we're seasonal workers, and that's far from the truth. I try to explain that, trimming your trees, doing, pruning and crown reductions, or just thinning the canopy out, just, cleaning the trees up. That's the best time to do that. It's this time of the year, going into the winter, especially for certain species of tree. But I had people text me, just the other day, wanting work done, and asked when, they just asked, well, when do you guys stop trimming for the season? Well, I try to tell them, we don't stop. We work year round. So anybody I come across, I try to tell them that, so that way it's just in their brain that hey, tree services don't take time off. Obviously, if we got big heavy snow and you're doing snow plowing, snow removal, that takes up a lot of time. So that means you're not getting as much tree work in. Now, if you got multiple crews out there, if you had that capacity, but then you can kind of push people where you need them. But for a small business like me, I only got 2 to 3 guys helping me, 1 crew. I'm doing 100% of the climbing, 90% of all the cutting, on top of still doing, dragging brush and raking, doing the final cleanup. I'm hoping, my 5-year goal, which is only 1 year from now, my 5-year goal was to have crews out. I was focusing more on the business side of things, not really what's going on in the field, not doing my estimates 100%, having somebody else that I can train to quote things how I would, see things how I see things. But I'm just not there yet, and I'm not sure what's stopping me. I think it's lack of knowledge in business, or just scared of taking that leap and hoping it works out. I'm just trying to play it safe And by playing it safe, it's putting more on me as the business owner and operator. I'm getting burnt out. As I said, I'm going on 4 years, and I think being burnt out isn't good running the business in 4 years. I don't know. I'm trying to figure it out. Trying to figure out how I can build the business, get equipment to make our jobs easier, whether it's a lift, a loader, a bigger stump grinder. And right now, I got a few things I'm financing as it is, and with the way work is slowing down, I just can't keep up with the bills. So adding another piece of equipment on right now isn't the smart choice. I try not to buy equipment in hopes that it sells me work, because that's not my goal. But if I do buy a piece of equipment, I want to make sure that I can pay the bill. I got a family, I got mouths to feed, I got personal bills to pay, I have business bills to pay. It's tough out there. I'm definitely making ends meet, but I don't have the money to set aside to put a big chunk down on a loan or anything like that. So that's where I'm struggling. And when you're making a purchase like that, a big purchase, whether it's $30,000 to $100,000, you want to make sure you're comfortable doing that. So I'm in the spot where I probably can't finance anything for another 3 years, just to make sure everything gets paid off and start from scratch, which is going to be rough because every 3 years or so you should be replacing some equipment anyways. So it's all about maintenance, maintaining the stuff that I have to last me another 3 years or longer. Like, I don't want to have to keep replacing shit just to open up another account. It just doesn't make sense. It'd be nice to pay something off and keep it for another 5 to 10 years, so that way you can be profitable. But I just want to know how you guys do things. I like to get insight on running a business, how you guys do it. I thought about getting into the leaf cleanup this year. I thought about it the last couple of years actually, but to buy a decent leaf vac, you're spending about $10,000, which isn't a big amount, especially in the tree care business. $10,000 isn't anything, but you just got to plan for it. But we have the rest of the week off. I have jobs scheduled for next week. One for a trailer park and one for some condominiums out in South Bend. So they're decent projects, nothing too crazy, but enough to keep the bills paid. I've been trying to push advertisements, get the name out there, let people know, hey, we're still doing this. Try to get more estimates coming in. But like I said, even though I do get some estimates, I only land about, out of 10 estimates, I'd probably land 2 to 3 of them. And a lot of it has to do with their budget or them. I don't know. It all comes down to money, honestly. It all comes down who's cheaper. I've had customers come to me and say, hey, I'm going with you even though you're the highest bid. I'm coming to you because I like who you are as a person. I like your reviews. I like your references. I like the way you do things. I can't tell you how many times I come up to a customer to go quote, a tree job, and they're like, oh yeah, we had so-and-so over here. They were just rude. They were just straightforward and said, yep, needs to come down, yep, needs trimmed. They didn't have good customer service. So they chose not to go with that person because they just felt like they're there to get a quick dollar. And you can't do that. If you're trying to run a successful business, you want to make sure that you reassure the customer that they are getting everything that they want and more. We had a job yesterday. It was 11 trims, mainly oaks, couple of hickories, and a cherry. So we had 11 trims to do, and this guy's yard was just littered with leaves. And we all know that when we're making a mess on the ground, especially when you're launching some stuff out, you get twigs everywhere, buried in the leaves. Well, we did him the favor of pretty much cleaning up half of his yard, clearing his leaves, which he did not expect because we're there for the trees, not for the leaves. But he gave us all a tip, was happy with the work, and that's what it's about. A lot of people will be like, oh, it's too much work to pick these twigs out of here or to take the leaves away with us. We didn't quote them on that. We got to quote them more, or whatever you guys do. I'm not saying you guys do that, but I know there are some people that do. Good customer service goes a long way, and that's what sells you work for the most part. Just your character. Like I said, sometimes that's just not enough. And some people don't care about the insurance or the liability aspect of it. They want you to come take down a $6,000 tree that's massive, hanging over a house and whatever. And I've had times where people come call me back saying, hey, this other tree business, they can't finish the job. All right, I guess I'll come do it, but it's kind of hard to navigate that because they've already paid some money, and now they feel like they're paying more money, so you feel like you got to give them that discount. I don't know. Running a business is hard, especially in a skilled trade. Yes, a trade like this. I climb 99% of my work. We don't have lifts. We climb literally everything. I say we, but me. I do have one other climber I contract out. Whenever I just have like a hairy situation, or I just have a lot of work to where it'd be too much strain on me to climb everything, or maybe I just don't feel like climbing that day, I'll call him and he'll come in, work his magic. But after next week, I don't have anything on the schedule, and it worries me. But this time of the year, it comes and goes, so I can have no work next week, but then I can have 10 calls this weekend and have work scheduled. So I don't worry about it too much. But you got to worry a little bit. And there's been times where I've been discouraged about running my business. Like, man, is this how it's always going to be? Is it always going to be this difficult? I don't think so. I think, you tough it out, things get easier. But at the same time, I thought about it like, what if I just get another full-time job, run the business on the weekends like I did when I first started? But there's not enough income coming in at that point to even pay the bills I do have, because when you run a business, you acquire some big boy bills. I promise you that. So the idea of going to get another full-time job somewhere, there's no way in hell they can pay you enough money to pay your bills every month on top of your side work. Because if I've had 1 to 2 jobs a week on top of an hourly job, like I'm gonna be wore out working 7 days a week all the time just to barely make ends meet. So running the business, I can run 2 jobs a week, maybe 3, and still pay my bills. Everybody has the dream of running a business successfully. They don't know what kind of hiccups they're going to run into, speed bumps, roadblocks, whatever you want to call it. They never know. They don't know until they get into it. And it's very discouraging when everything kind of hits you at once and you don't know what to do. You you don't want to reach out for help because it's like a pride thing. Me and my wife, we try to brainstorm on what we can do. Sometimes I get frustrated with her because, as I shouldn't, but sometimes I do because she wants to take it slow and I don't. I just want to get to where I want to be. I had a 5-year goal. I set that 5-year goal and I'm 3/4 of the way there. I bought a new chipper this year. I never thought I'd be able to get a new chipper. I still have my old one. I gotta get it put back together and paint it and get it sold. But I still owe on the old one. So I'm paying that bill right now every month, and it's not even being used. It's sitting. So I gotta put a little money into that so I can get it sold. Get that loan paid off. That would help me out tremendously too. But at this point I wanted to have a crew I could send out, have a foreman that I can trust to make the right choices, don't take any shortcuts. But it's a lot harder than I anticipated. Just pulled back into the house. I gotta find a way to, I don't know. I have no goal or I have no plan for this winter. I have the hopes that people still want work done, right? I still get calls coming in. I feel last winter wasn't too bad. I was still working, 2 days a week. Small stuff. I don't mind it. I had a couple big removals to do, but nothing crazy. But I was hoping to get into snow removal this year as well, but to get a plow mounted on my truck, we're looking at $8,000. I don't have that lying around because all my money's going towards these payments. And as I said, I have a full family. I have 4 boys and my wife that I have to support. So they're my priority. The business isn't. But at the same time, the business has to be a priority because then I can't take care of the family. I've been trying to put the word out that hey, we don't just do tree removal and tree trimming and stump grinding. We do leaf pickup. I'm trying to get accounts for that because once I get accounts, then it justifies buying that leaf vac. And if I have to do a whole year of tarping leaves, I'll do that just to save up for a leaf vac. But people they're not calling in for it. I've been trying to offer pressure washing, gutter clean outs. I'm trying to push lot clearing because that's a good job to have in the winter because it keeps everybody busy. Not only is it a big price tag, there's big expenses in lot clearing. So, you give somebody a $50,000 price on a 1 acre lot or whatever, depending on, the situation. There's a lot of hours involved, a lot of fuel, a lot of equipment costs. There's a lot involved with that, and people think, oh, that's a big paycheck. Well, not really, because by the time you pay your expenses, you're left with maybe a third of that. We did a job for a local city, a nearby city, and it was a good sized project. It was a $30,000 project. My take home off of that was less than 10. It took us 2 months to complete. 24 removals, stump grinding, haul the grindings, bring in topsoil, put down grass seed, all of it. We knocked it out. We got it done. But it was a lot of work. A lot of expenses. We probably spent $1,500 just dumping wood chips and logs. Spent, including stump grindings, spent probably close to $200 to $300 in topsoil, a total of probably 30 yards. I had to rent a bucket truck for a day. I had to rent the stump grinder because our stump grinder wasn't big enough to get to the stumps, because most of these stumps were, 50 inches. They weren't tiny trees. But these big jobs have bigger expenses. Now, if I was a business that had all the equipment, everything was paid off, it would have been way more profitable. But as a small business, and you don't have that much, it makes it tough to complete. But I took on the job to see if I could do it. And they offered me 3 other contracts. I turned all other 3 contracts down. Even though it was less trees, I turned them down because my guys didn't want to do it anymore, because they had to wait till the end of the project to even get paid, because I didn't have the money in the account for payment, because we were not focusing on residential. We were focusing on the city job that wasn't paying until job was completed. So we were running ourselves completely thin. I want to get to a point where I have a good cushion in the account to where I can tackle any unanticipated scenario. Broken equipment, replacing equipment, more labor, subcontracting, anything like that. I don't know. It's tough out there. Let me know your thoughts. Leave a comment. I really would like to hear from you guys and get an idea of what I can do differently as the owner to make things easier on everybody. Five-year goal. That's what I gave myself. I got a good dump trailer now. I got a dump truck. I got a new chipper. Well, new to me. 2021 Vermeer BC 1000 XL. I have another chipper for a backup if I needed it, if I don't sell it. I have resources. I have great relationships with a lot of the tree business owners in my area. We are all there to help each other out. And it's always like the bigger companies too that I have a good relationship with, not only because they're bigger companies, but they have successfully ran their business to get where they are. And I love listening to their input. I love just having that freedom to call one and be like, hey, I'm having this problem, what are your suggestions? Yesterday, my dump bed on my dump truck stopped working. I had a full load of wood chips. I called up one of the local tree businesses that I go dump at. I called the owner and I said, hey, my dump bed's not dumping. Do you got a machine at the yard that can help me pull these wood chips out or help lift the dump bed? He said, yep, just go, let them know when you get there. So that's what I did. And guess what? They came and helped. I mean, you can't beat that. You go to a local landfill, they're not going to help you out. It's one of those things, you scratch my back, I scratch yours, I don't like owing people favors. That's not what I'm about. Because somebody does something for you, now you owe them something, and by the time they want that favor done, it's inconvenient for you. There's too much. That's how bridges are burnt. Okay? If somebody helps me out, I'm compensating you with money. I'm not looking for handouts. I'm not looking for trade. Just like if I did something for somebody else, I would expect it to be, I would be expected compensation. I would expect compensation. Yeah, I don't know. I just had my thoughts this morning on this morning drive. I had to go dump my trailer. I have it rented out right now for junk removal for a week. So I had to go empty it for them, and during the drive I was just thinking about it. Figured I'd put it out there to see what you guys do, how you guys run things, what I can do to make my job easier as the owner, how I can still be involved in the field, but not to the extent that I am now. I would love to get a climber on payroll, but my problem is I want to keep people busy, and I can't when the work's not there. So I feel like a failure if I only have 2 to 3 jobs in a week. I feel like a failure that I can't keep, money flowing for my employees. I know smaller businesses that still pay their employees for a full week regardless. If they work 1 day or 2 days or 5 days, they pay them for their full pay. And I wish I can get to a point like that. Because even if there is no work to be done, they can come here, they can maintenance the trucks, they can clean out the trucks, they can do the oil changes, they can grease everything, they can clean my garage, they can sharpen the saws. Like, there's stuff for them to do. But if I don't have the money in the account to do so, I can't do it. So everything's put on me to do all that still. The only times I can take advantage of that is if we already have a job that day and they're already here. But all right, we're going to have a little bit later start. We're going to maintenance everything, so on and so forth. But if it's a day where there's no planned work, there's no income coming in, I can't justify paying them to be here. Just like my old chipper, it's in the garage right now. We got to prep it for paint. And one of my guys asked me yesterday, like, hey, you mind if I come by this week just to start sanding it down, getting it ready? I'm like, yeah, go for it. Like, it should only take you 2 to 3 hours. I don't mind paying you your hourly rate for 2 to 3 hours. If you want the extra hours, I'm cool with it. I think it's hard for me to take a certain percentage out of each job and put it towards equipment, put it towards payroll, put it towards whatever. Just because I have bills I need paid too to keep the business going. So I can't do that. The only thing I can do is keep track of the hours, pay them for those hours of that week. I don't bi-weekly it. I don't pay their payroll this week for last week's. It's just week by week by week, or day by day, depending on the work. So how do you guys get to that point to where you guys have a good cushion and bills are paid? Like I said, I'm hoping that all my stuff is paid off. My truck, my chipper, my trailer, all that should be paid off in 3 years. So 3 more years to be a clean slate. I would like to also purchase a piece of property, a woodlot, to run my business out of. I got a property right here, right next door to me, 6 acres. About to go up for sale, probably in a couple months. The guy bought the property to flip it. He bought it for $175,000. Granted, it's residential in the county, 5 acres. It's got a tri-level house on it that they are renovating. My thing is I want property without a structure on it because that's what makes it cheaper. So with this structure on here, they're going to try to ask $400,000 for this property. That's way more money than I want to spend on acreage. 5 acres. I can go up 1.5 miles north of me, just past state line in Michigan. There's 13 acres undeveloped right now for $300,000. So it's $100,000 less than this 5 acre with 10 more acres. That makes sense to me. So I don't know if that's something I should focus on in 3 years, or if I should focus on getting equipment to make our lives easier. Like I said, I've been climbing for 12, 13 years now. Climbing. I'm tired. I'm about to be 34. I'm still young, but I'm tired. I'm exhausted. I need to figure something out. And quick. Let me know your thoughts, guys. I have a couple videos I'm working on to get posted. Actually, one, because I already posted the other one. It's just a longer video. It's just annoying to edit. I'm still new to it, so it's just taking me some time. But it will get posted hopefully this weekend. But yeah, comment down below if you haven't already. Like and subscribe to my channel. I like to see all the supporters I have, people that enjoy following me and just there to listen to my rants, watch me work. I don't do a lot of talking in my videos. I need to start talking a little bit more. Like I said, it's new to me. Sometimes I forget I have a camera on me that I'm talking to you guys. This is something I have to train myself to do. But with all that being said, I'll catch you guys on the next one, probably next week. I'll try to get a video posted this weekend and then post another one next week. And hope you guys have a great weekend. Thanksgiving's coming up soon, so hope you guys have a good holiday. I'll catch you guys on the next one.